This video is a little different than what I usually do here on my channel, but that's because this is something different than what we have seen at any other time in history, and I thought that I would go ahead and make this video, share it with you guys, to one, raise interest, and two, just talk about what's on my mind, because this is super exciting. So, just a few minutes ago, probably an hour or two by the time you see this video, I'm uploading it as soon as I'm done editing, Yusaku Maezawa, a Japanese philanthropist billionaire, was announced to be the first paying passenger on SpaceX's BFR mission to the moon. Now, that's a lot of words there that a lot of you may or may not recognize. You might recognize SpaceX. They are a private spacefaring company run by American billionaire Elon Musk. SpaceX, they have their Dragon capsule that'll be sending astronauts to the space station next year. Some things that they've already done is they have launched and landed rockets to and from orbit, the Falcon 9 rockets. Earlier this year, they launched the Falcon Heavy rocket, the second largest rocket ever made and the largest rocket currently in service, and sent Elon Musk's Tesla Roadster on a trip to Mars. SpaceX's ultimate goal is to send people to Mars, either to inhabit it or just to pay a visit and then come home. And there's a lot of road steps that you need to do in order to get there. And the next one that they want to tackle is the moon. They have yet to send a spacecraft to the moon. They're working on a spacecraft right now called the BFR, which stands for the Big Falcon Rocket. They just showed photos of it during this press conference, and it's big. It's not just to go to the moon. It has multiple purposes. They want to make it so that it can go from one point of the Earth to another point way faster than a plane could do. It could send a 100-ton payload into low Earth orbit. It can refuel in orbit and then send that same payload to the moon or Mars and beyond. It'll be able to ferry people to the moon, maybe to Mars as well. And during the press conference, Elon Musk started and he introduced the first paying passenger that SpaceX, basically the first space tourist that SpaceX has signed on. And that is Maezawa, a Japanese billionaire. I hadn't heard of his name before, but just during the presentation I could tell that he was extremely enthusiastic about this. And there were just tons of stuff that he brought up that just resonated with me and made me think, yeah, he's the perfect guy. Only 24 people have been to the moon in all of history. They all went between the years of 1968 and 1972. They were all American men who were astronauts, and 12 of them made a landing, 12 did not. And what is going to happen now is SpaceX is going to send Maezawa on a trip to the moon. And I didn't know who Maezawa was before this, but just watching the conference and looking up some basic information about him, I instantly knew he was the right person. And the more he talked, the more that resonated with me and said, yeah, this guy has a heart of gold, and if anyone is to be the first paying tourist to go to the moon, I'm glad that it's him. History will look on him as a great man worthy of being the first one to go. So he talked a little bit about who he is, why he wants to go, and what he wants to do while he's there. He's a billionaire philanthropist. Some basic Wikipedia information shows that he has given a lot of money to art and sciences, so he's definitely invested into things that are very important to him, to culture, and it's obvious to me that he's a musician. That's what he does in his spare time. He sings, he plays drums. He enjoys doing that kind of thing. That's just something that I feel, I don't know how to describe it really, but a musician who gives a ton of money to arts and sciences, that is immediately a lot better than, say, someone who spends all their money on hookers and cocaine, for example. No, this guy, he is using his money for the better good, for Japan and for the world. And it's obvious to me, just watching him in the conference, that he's very enthusiastic about space travel, he's enthusiastic about art, and he wants to go to the moon. For the same reason I would love to go to the moon if I ever could, because it's just so inspiring. And what he wants to do while he's there, that was the part of the conference that caught my attention and made me think I need to make this video and share it with you guys. He's making a project called Dear Moon. And what he did was, I can't believe he did this. He didn't just buy a ticket for himself on this BFR flight. He bought every seat on that flight. I don't know how many seats that is. They didn't say, but he wants to bring 6 to 8 people with him in the arts fields. Film directors, photographers, actual painters, fashion designers. You know, if you are an artist in the world from all walks of life, from anywhere on the globe, he wants to bring you with him to go to the moon, capture what you see there and bring it back and share it with the rest of the world. And that made me realize, yes, this guy is legit. He needs to go. He needs to bring these people with him. I support this 100%. So why do I feel that way? Well, space is inspiring. I mean, you could look up, just go to Google Images and just type in Hubble Space Telescope, and you'll get thousands and thousands of pictures of stuff up there in the sky. That's not computer graphics. It's not some drawing that someone did. Those are actual pictures of things up there in the heavens. And that stuff does inspire people, just knowing that that's there. And just how amazing would it be if it wasn't a robot taking those pictures, if it wasn't a computer but a real person. And the only pictures that we have that were taken by real people are from the orbit of the moon, or an orbit around Earth, but apart from Earth, pretty much from the moon. And the people who went to the moon were scientists and test pilots, and they were taught how to use cameras, they were taught how to take good pictures, how to get the video right, but that wasn't their job. They were there to do a multitude of things. Artistry was just on the side. One of them, Al Bean, did become an artist because he was so inspired by what happened to him on the moon. He did become an artist, and he did make paintings, and some paintings are on screen right now of what he made. Now, how amazing would it be if when you go to the moon, you're already a professional artist, you're already a professional photographer, you have all this inspiration already in your head, and you're just in need of something outstanding, literally out of this world, to really jog it in your mind and make it just come out of your fingers and just show the whole world what you saw. That is what he's doing here. He's going to bring artists with him to the moon so they can share their experience in their own unique way in the fields that they have with the rest of the world. And honestly, I think that that is the best possible thing that you can do if you're going to go to the moon, is bring people with you who can take pictures, who can write stories, who can make dresses. Just I'm having a hard time articulating the words, because yes, this is what we need. So many Apollo astronauts, even those who are still alive today, will argue, yeah, we need to send those kind of people to the moon, because what they saw, they can't really share except through their words, and their words can only go so far. We need people in those fields who can go to the moon and bring back those experiences and share them in a way the rest of us can understand. We already have tremendous pictures from the Apollo era. We have Earthrise from Apollo 8, one of the most well-known pictures of all time. We have the video of the first moonwalk. We have all sorts of beautiful landscape pictures, and of course we have beautiful films that came out of them as well, notably Apollo 13, starring Tom Hanks, directed by Ron Howard, and the upcoming First Man, starring Ryan Gosling, which is about Neil Armstrong. That is the kind of stuff that we need from a trip to the moon, is someone who can go there and not just bring themselves, but bring all of humanity, and then come back and share their experience for all of us to understand and for all of us to love. So this is just an amazing, amazing thing that will happen, and it's even more amazing to think this isn't a concept on paper. This isn't some government program that runs the risk of being revoked by the time the next president comes along. This is something that this company, SpaceX, is going to do. The BFR is under production. It will become a rocket, it will go to the moon, and Maezawa will go to the moon on that rocket and take these artists with him. And after him, and after all of them, come many more. But he's just the first, and they're going to join him, and this is inspiring to me. So, if you look back on all of space exploration, John Glenn's first orbital flight, America's first spacewalk, the first moon landing, the Hubble Space Telescope pictures, that is truly inspiring. Those beautiful pictures. Knowing what humanity can do, and knowing what beautiful, miraculous things are out there in the heavens. We need artists from all walks of life to go up there so that they can share those stories with us. There's more information about Dear Moon in the description of this video. I do not take credit for it at all. If Maezawa-san is watching this, I am a YouTuber. If you decide that that counts as being an artist, then I would love to apply to have one of those tickets to go to the moon. I've loved space all my life. I've loved space exploration all my life. You can ask my fans, you can ask my family, anyone. And going to the moon would be huge, and it would be a dream come true, and it would be a miracle. It would be a literal miracle. Not for me to get chosen to go, but knowing that humanity can do it. If you can go to the moon, you can do anything. So, that's the information on Dear Moon. Check out more information. Thank you very much for watching. And Maezawa-san, good luck. I wish you Godspeed.